Hey guys, Doom here. This is going to be more of a personal video, a personal story, and kind of, I guess you could say, subjective to my personal life. I don't care that my own actual name is visible or anything like that. But I'm mainly here to talk about my experiences as a landscaper for 16 years and how I was offered that job again under different circumstances. So I'll be going through some really old Facebook pictures and whatnot. So obviously we got the newer stuff in Facebook is, a lot of burritos, my new computer. Um, I'm about like at net zero right now because I bought a new OLED monitor in my new computer and put my old 4070 Ti in it, so I am like broke. So realistically, I need to be posting Helldivers videos every day if I want to make ends meet. So if I want to keep doing this like as YouTube and putting stuff out to you guys and fiscally surviving, I have to play Helldivers like mad. So whenever there's any small problem, um, it becomes a big problem for me to make videos. So things that bother me with the game and make me feel personally bad about it make it harder to make videos, and that's not an excuse. I'm going to get on and play right now after this video. I just really want to make this just so I can like personally share this whole story. So I worked for this landscape company for about 16 years, 16 years and 2 days, and I quit because of quality concerns, being paid 6 weeks late, not getting paid past my 40-hour salary, so I wasn't getting paid for the hours I was working, and I wasn't getting paid on time. Quality was going down. I was overworked, stressed out, I had a lot of responsibility. That's actually Ben, by the way. We got like the helmet stuff from when the helmet was in progress. Got some funny thumbnails from before that I thought were hilarious. Those were really good thumbnails, and I made those too. More helmet stuff. My cat Sophie, she's 12 or 13 now. So obviously, I quit the job last year, and I started doing Helldivers videos without a group, and it grew around August when I started getting a social group. You can see stuff like this. Like my year on 2024 was not bad. 1.4 million views for never editing a video. 1.4 million views. I'm pretty happy with that. So you might not think much. You might not think much of like these videos that only have 1,000 views on them. But I'm telling you, it adds up. It adds up to a lot. So many pictures of Sophie. Now, I don't know what's in here in my Facebook, because there's going to be a bunch. I got my more ill-advised purchases. I got Helldivers hoodies. I got my Leatherman arc that I shouldn't have bought with my name engraved on it. Um, got my truck. My truck's been on YouTube before. This was a post about some dude who got ripped off on his landscaping, and it looked terrible. Yes, my Google name is also on my McDonald's orders. So I quit working with them. I go through a whole making a ton of Helldivers videos, and it's going pretty good. I'm starting to make some okay money for being at home and not having low expenses and only having to pay a few hundred bucks a month rent plus my own expenses. The making anywhere between $600 to $1,800 is fine. I don't make a lot of money doing YouTube. I want to make more, but at the same time, I don't want to make more at the sake of just churning out garbage for the sake of it. I like to have fun with my matches. I do share most of them, though. I'd say I share about 90% of my matches. So we got when they accidentally sent my coffee mug without a customization. That was also really funny. Savvy sliders. There's gonna be random selfies in here too, I'm sure, because we're getting to the point where I was in a situationship right around now. Hot sauce. I'm a hot sauce guy. Motorized bike. So we're getting to the point where I'm back at my old job. That's my boss, and that's my boss Dave, and up top is Jason. He's 19 years old, Gen Z. He has 1 year of experience right now. He has two, I think. Yeah, he has 2 years of experience actually now because I haven't been there. We would cut lawns 4 days a week. We would landscape for two, and then we would take Sunday off. That was the general vibe for most of the work stuff. So we did a little bit of landscaping, a little bit of fertilizing. Not licensed for fertilizing, and just do it anyways. And we would do that pretty consistently. We'd have somewhere around 80 to 100 properties a year. So not something crazy. Some would be really big, man. And this is all like, this is me at work, random selfies. That's Jake. So Jake is the other guy who works. This guy is severely autistic. And I don't mean that in like he's a functioning autist. I mean like he has a guardian. He can't wash his own clothes. He has social issues. He cries a lot. I mean like actually cries. He is a 28-year-old man who has the mind of a 12-year-old boy. And that is the best way to describe him. And it is unfortunate, and he should not be in this industry and not doing this work and this labor. Him as a person, he is an absolute gem. He is the nicest person in the world. I love Jake. He was great. But in a work environment, it's not an appropriate work environment. So that's me, my boss, Jake, and Jason, or the 4 people at that company, right, when I quit. We were pretty busy. I would get to run around with Jason when we would split up. But we stopped splitting up after a while because we couldn't really handle, one of the trucks really couldn't handle what we were doing. And so while I love the work, and I love, like, when stuff looks like this, it looks really nice. I mean, we don't maintain the back out there. That's all flooded anyways. Um, I really enjoyed, I really enjoyed the work. I really enjoyed the labor of it and the work of it. So I leave, and I check up with him a couple of times because I got my W-2 and I thought something was wrong with it, and we talked and we checked up and caught up and whatnot. And he didn't try to fight for me to come back to the company when I quit, obviously. And this is all the equipment we own. We had these 2 trailers are ours, and then a lot of these handhelds on the rack were ours. We had snow plows, and we would keep our salters stored and stuff like that. That's me in the car wash in my truck. Yeah, look how happy I am. He said Bieber fever. So this is like, we would do shit like this that's like not OSHA approved, no jack stands, because why would you use jack stands? They just get in the way. Just hang it from the ceiling on this rope that's been used to pull multiple trees out, and who knows when it'll break. But you're underneath it now. And I would do the majority of the maintenance. I did a lot of labor at that company. He comes and calls me today. Oh yeah, shaving all my hair off. He calls me today, and he's like, hey, the other company here, guy's name is Matt. He's like, I'm buying the whole of their business. 270 lawns, 2 trucks, 2 more trailers. So it would give him a total of 4 trucks, 4 trailers, and around 350 lawns, maybe 350, 370 lawns. And he doesn't have the hires right now. He's got Jason, he's got Jake, he's got one other guy coming in, so naturally he calls me. Now, I quit my job over quality concerns because Jason can't handle quality stuff because he's autistic, right? It's not on him. It's on the boss for hiring the kind of person like that to work with power tools. It's not a proper environment for him. Jason is mellow and doesn't care, and he doesn't care about the quality either. So there was times where, like, stuff wouldn't get done right, and I would be the enforcer. Not the owner. Me. I was the enforcer of quality. So I cared about that shit. So while this is all going on in the, like, last year with Jason, I'm not posting videos. Helldivers isn't out yet. I'm not posting plants. I was in between period. So I was mostly focused on, well, being high, actually, because I hated my job. Spent an entire year high, after an entire year of hookups, after a failed relationship. Yeah, gaming saved me from becoming a porn star, sure. Um, but this offer to work for him comes back up, and I'm like, I've been doing Helldivers. I've been making money since, like, August with it. And when I go hard, it goes good. People give me a lot of comments. I get an adequate amount of views that I feel is good for, like, a small YouTuber making unedited videos. Because my goal is to make an unedited video with good cooperative banter, have my Discord overlay on so people can see who's talking, and just share that experience of playing that game with a group that is not, like, ultra tryhard, but still trying to beat the mission. Normal human beings playing the game. So I think that has the most general appeal. Now, it won't always be Helldivers, but the goal should be, like, something that is solid like that. And Helldivers clearly is what I built some thousands of subscribers. I probably built, like, out of my new subscribers, it's probably like 1,000 from Forever Winter and, like, 5,000 from Helldivers. These are the people past Planetside. And obviously some old viewers are still going to be, like, there. So we do things like, this was a park in Melvindale in Michigan, and it's really nice. It's a memorial park, and we're trying to make this look really good because it's a memorial park, for fuck's sake. So we cleaned it up, and we got pictures of mulch and stuff like that. Boss man would smoke cigars, of course. Yes, my Helldiver stickers. This is us looking at the solar eclipse through welding goggles. I got my chance after, so obviously my truck is still decked out. As we go farther back, we're gonna find the very first stickers that go on my truck. And there was our dump truck that had a non-working fuel gauge, and it wouldn't pump fuel from one tank to the other. It's still not fixed. It has no AC, and this is what I would be in if I go back to that job. Which I'll tell you right now, TLDR, I'm not going back to this job. I loved the work, but for 80 lawns or so and all that work, it was still maintenance hell between all the trucks. I mean, I did this. I labeled all the gas cans so everything would be right. Aw, it's selfie again. Back to more maintenance. Getting everything pre-tuned for the season probably at this point is what this looks like. Yeah, looks like the salter's coming out. It's sunny outside, so I did all the salting work. As you can see, this truck needs to be, like, repainted. It's rotting out in the sides and the back by the whatchamacallit. It was bad. We do try to do some wood timbers and stuff along somebody's driveway. Trying to clean and dress up all those rocks. We would do little jobs like this from time to time. It'd be nicer. The stuff spilled out too far into their neighbor's property, so they wanted to move it over a little bit. My beautiful Ford. Pick up your Ford, blah, blah, blah. Tynequan factories are rolling out. Yeah, and so here's, like, the launch of Helldivers, right? So February 8th, I believe, was the launch of Helldivers, and this shit just skyrocketed out of control. Now, it didn't stay like that, because I didn't have thumbnails and I didn't have a social group. I was playing with my old group at the time. And here's the other crazy thing about this job. Like, this guy bred rats in the shop, right? He bred rats in the shop next to an oil burner. As you can see, there is essentially kindling for this oil burner. You might be wondering why he's throwing down 15 bags of oil dry on the floor. This was one of the wonderful things about working here. Is this oil burner here. He would like to go get free oil, which you're going against regulation to do anyways. Put it in a reserve tank, and you would turn on this fill that takes it from the reserve tank to the oil burner. Well, he would always try to do other shit because it would take so long to do that fill, instead of monitoring it, because there's no way to monitor it because it's just a physical bauble. And so we would run off to do something else. This thing would still be pumping oil from the reserve tank, which has 200 plus gallons in it. It would overfill the oil burner. And you know where it goes? Right out the relief valve up to the top, right onto the fucking floor. So this happened 3 times while I worked for him. To the point where, after it happened the second time, I said, I'm staring and watching this thing. I don't care what we're doing. I'm not having this happen again. And then the third time that it happened, I wasn't there. So I couldn't stop it from happening. Yeah. Wild Tiger, if you haven't heard of it, it's imported from Jordan. Amazing energy drink. I like buying that by the case. We got my dump truck, which was not running and not working. Being pushed into the warehouse. Got cookies. Yeah, we had to take this whole fucking thing apart. It was great. It was a wonderful time of horrible rust. And this is like this was a 2001 Chevy dump. And it was just falling apart. Leaf cleanup was not my most favorite time. This lawnmower here isn't even ours. This is a loaner. Ours was in the shop, but the caster wheel frame broke off, so we had to re-weld it back on at the shop. Iron Fish Bourbon Whiskey is going to be the only whiskey I drink, and long drinks is the only alcohol I drink. Oh yeah, see? Looking strong. This is 2 years ago? That got melted because it was against the muffler of a 200-gallon spray tank. Starfield. Arborvitae's and landscaping job where everything's all torn up and torn out. Buying plants. There we are buying the arbs. Jake being Jake. Both my trucks parked next to each other because I was the only one who drove that dump truck. And man, I do miss that truck to some degree. Oh yeah, there we go. Bald. Some hedges. I was the one who trimmed up those hedges. I'd say they look pretty good considering I have very limited hedging experience. Usually I was always on cleanup. Tear out of the old arbs. To do cut grass. So I inherited this truck from my mom when my grandma passed away and she got a new truck. And I decided, even though it's a 2005, I was going to take as much good care of this as I could. And I was pretty good about that in the first year. And then as I got sick and winter happened, I haven't been. I need to take it to the wash. It looks pretty nasty right now. But I got some, even though it's only 2-wheel drive, I still went and got BF Goodrich AT tires on it because I like the way they look. Back when I had a little more money, when I had a job. And here's me many, many, many years ago, drunk with a dog on my lap trying not to vomit. It's a motorized bike. The only reason I have this is my old man's. It's the only thing left me. So. I definitely miss this job. I don't think I don't think it's right for me to go back to it. I've been sick off and on over the past year. I just got over the flu, which I made a lot of posts about because I just disappeared completely from my own existence. Before that, I had a horrible sinus infection, which kept me playing as much. And before that, I fractured or broke my foot, but that was before Helldivers really took off. So I was playing Zelda on my computer monitor, doing a landscape job, waiting for people to come through the drive-through. It's an absolute stupid job at a Big B Coffee, right? They want us to redo this existing rock, so we fabricated rock in isolated areas, and it's just a weed-riddled mess now. And all the people like to take shortcuts over this, and they step on the rocks on top of this fabric, and then the rocks spill into the drive-through. It's gotta look terrible right now. We did so much work there. Going the extra mile, one lawn at a time. So this was a free lettering on this truck, right? It was supposed to say going the extra mile, 1 yard at a time, and be a play on word of measurements. So I would come in and see this and say, we are going the extra mile 1 inch at a time, being sarcastic about the measurement stuff. And this truck, this has been rotting here, sitting here for like over a year. This thing is doing absolutely nothing. Tailgate's completely fucking shot. This is the F-250, I can't remember. Is it a Lariat? I can't remember. I think it's like one of the fancy ones, and it's so fucking terrible. It's so bad. Redoing somebody's front yard, redoing their sod. Are you hungry? Received 2 days ago. Jake passing out. But yeah, I mean, this is when like he's looking at snake stuff, but he had the air compressor. Didn't relieve the pressure on the air compressor. Decided to take the I don't know the bolt off of it or whatever. It relieved all the pressure and all the water right on him. There it is. Place was a total disaster clusterfuck. I mean, it was just constantly like that. I mean, it was absolute chaos in this warehouse. It was absolute chaos in this back lot. The city came and yelled at us about this wood because it used to be on the ground. They said this needs to be X inches off the ground and it needs to be cut up. And like this size or smaller. And so one Sunday we had to come in with the log splitter and split all this fucking wood. And this is the stuff I always did when I played PlanetSide. This is the stuff that I did before Helldivers. I mean, there's parts of me that would be like, man, I could just go back and really enjoy that work, but the whole business side of it was always so terrible, and the whole pace side of it was so annoying. And yeah, I would make double what I'm going to make doing Helldiver stuff. Even Helldivers does good. I would make double at a day job doing this, but I would have no energy. I'd have no time. I would work 60 hours a week. I would work 6 days a week. I'd have one day off, and it would be an absolute nightmare. And then you guys would never see me play a video game again on YouTube because I would just not have the time to play, record, think about what I want to do with thumbnails. And that's why when I was posting Helldivers when it originally came out was just post it with no thumbnails go. Because I had other shit to do. Like this. I would be out in this stuff all the time. So, yeah, back when I got my Doom plate. More sod jobs. There's all sorts of personal stuff mixed in here, but I know my Facebook's mostly work stuff, so landscape jobs we would do. I would never get to landscape again. If I go back to that company, they're gonna have so many lawns that I'll never do a landscape job again. I'll just be cutting grass. That's all I would do is cut grass. Forever. And people's sprinkler systems on in the morning's great, thanks. Back when I first got my tires. And, then the maintenance hell. We have one bearing go, and then we have it just keep going. We had so many issues with this trailer. His trailer was tweaked, and the frame broke, and we built it back together, I guess. So now we're all the way back. We're all the way back to PlanetSide days. So I think I might wrap it up here. So my goal is to stick with Helldivers. My goal is to stick with my YouTube right now. And just wanted to share a little insight into like what I feel like this clusterfuck of a job was and what it was to me. And I did it for so long. But I just don't know if I could go back. This is when my truck died. I fucking had a bearing go out and I found out the frame was also broken. Jake with his shirt on backwards. We're going too far. We're going to the Depression years. Okay. Yeah, we're done. We're getting all political now. So, my old truck. Ha. So, if you like to hear that, cool. If not, well, you're not here, so they don't matter. And basically, I guess I'm gonna start trying to push hard for YouTube again, which is gonna be interesting because I've been a little bit butthurt about not having AA and Helldivers. I heard it's gonna be fixed in a patch from a Reddit post, and I'd like to jump onto that again and not have to think about doing 60 hours a week of manual labor. But at least now you kind of understand where my head's at, where I came from, why I had so much time to even build this channel up in the first place. Some people say, well, how do you get all this stuff out? I'm like, well, I have no job and I have no money. That's why. And I'm not asking for people's views. I'm not asking for their money. I'm just going to continue to try and share stuff that I feel like I'm having fun doing. So if I get to go push hard for Helldivers again like I did a couple months ago before I got sick, that would be awesome. That would be great. It would be super cool. So I'll see you guys later.